sometimes you're too nice to argue, then you can't do ethics. Resign. Thank them very much for asking you, but go home. Go back to your job. Ethics is about argument. Because I love books and I still had a few brain cells that were rubbing against one another, I figured that maybe I should do something like be a lady librarian. Now Myra always tells people that she has saved library patrons from me because I'm so loud, and I would have been the one that was shushed.
When I thought about Rosemary as a librarian, I couldn't imagine a worse retirement job for her. She's so vociferous, so gregarious and outgoing, and you know, she talks just a little bit loud.
She could ask more questions that would get people to really think about the answer, to ask the question in such a way that even if you weren't a student of philosophy, she would direct you to a path to an answer.
She is the Socrates that everyone longs for, the person who comes in soft with a problem that looks like she's just asking a question, and then she teases out a conversation that becomes serious, challenging, and rigorous.
Rosemary, I think, really, during my tenure on the board, really was truly a catalyst, I think, in helping me to really get into and really understand more about what the center was all about, and more importantly, the mission behind the center.
I became a Rosemary groupie. I did not think that I had ever met a philosopher who could connect Aristotle with what was going on in healthcare, and I adored that.
I loved doing ethics and thought I could be effective with getting people to do ethics without being preachy, school marmish.
We were doing a lot of ethics committee training then, and part of that, kind of the foundation of it, is for people to really understand what ethics is and what it is not. And that ethics committee members, they don't need to be philosophers, but they need to get that. It is not about people of goodwill sharing their opinions.
I think that was hard for some doctors because they were being asked to think maybe outside of the clinical box.
She started the ethics committee some 20 years ago at St. Joseph. She's taught so many folks about how to be who we say we are.
You've got to get out there in the pull and tug of life and argue with people about the meaning of the right and the good in order really, I think, to do ethics.
We're driving up 35 and she says, we go by the very nice Cameron Medical Center, which is right on the interstate. And she says, I've got to give a talk there in a month. How long did, and it's a Sunday morning, so I'm going to have to get up early. What time did we leave the office? And I looked and I said, well, it took us about an hour to get here. And she said, well, if I'm talking at 9, I'll have to leave a little before 8. And I said, well, Rosemary, I'm going 75 miles an hour. You might want to leave a little before that. And she said, well, I usually drive 80, so I'll be fine. And that was her age. And it was true when I let her drive.
Elapsed time, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 4 seconds.
A typical day.
A typical case.
Call to find out more.
At St. Mary's and St. Joseph Medical Centers, we want nurses who are called to care.
Come and join our team. Call or visit us online today.
When Rosemary and her colleague's ad came on the television in her room, even 5 days before she got a huge stroke and she passed away. My wife was asleep. We didn't know she was conscious. As soon as that ad came on, she sat straight up in bed and said, "You know, that's Rosemary Flanigan."
Rosemary and I joked a lot together. We laughed a lot. She has a wonderful little infectious laugh. The problem of Rosemary is she can't tell a joke. She doesn't know how to tell a joke. She tried to tell jokes and they all fall flat. But the wonderful thing about her is she would always laugh at mine, and I thought that was wonderful.
For me, a lot of it is just watching her and listening to her in the hall, and that cheerfulness and that greeting that she has for everybody. It's really a gift, because there aren't a lot of us that are like that on a regular basis, and she's always like that.
Sister Rosemary, you know, from the very first time I met her, you know, she remembered my name. Now, for a long time, it was just Solansky. Not, you know, it seemed like she didn't know my first name, and never doctor, which was okay. But, you know, she, in her way, would ask, "Solansky, what do you think about that?" And so I was impressed from the very beginning that she took the time to remember me. But it was that way with everybody.
What Rosemary has done very well and mentors for me and for others of us who are people of faith is to be able to maintain that identity, have it affect who I am, who she is, but not impose that on our work.
I have great admiration for her independence in her thought, you know, and you know, she obviously learns from others, and but she also is a very independent and creative thinker herself.
She was a nun who could have led a sheltered life, but instead used the religious order to expand her horizons.
I'm so struck by the fact that her faith is authentic and deep and very alive in everything that she does, that her life is built around her faith, and her work here is just part of serving others.
I wish Rosemary could experience the joy and happiness in her life that would even come close to what she has brought and does bring to me and everybody she meets.
Just have no fear being selfish. Be selfish in this, because you really deserve it.
We need for her to write down what the story is about, that somebody had been drawn into an area of thinking and acting that really has made a difference in the way medicine conducts itself.
I promise to be available anytime, anywhere, to come and hold your hand and to pray.
I want to see her continuing the dialogue she's had over these years and be a part of us for a long time.
When Rosemary Flanigan says retirement, she doesn't mean she's going to turn off that brain. Her brain is her interaction with the community. Her commitment is lifelong.
I wish her exceedingly long life, great joy, and peace.
Wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, summer, spring, or fall. All you have to do is call, and we'll be right there. Yes, we will. You've got friends. You've got friends. You've got friends.